We're
Any
going to
other
stay up.
thoughts?
We're going to stay up here and toss it back
You're
to you.
staying up here, and before I bring up the CSUN folks, I wanted to just share with the group that, you know, in addition to broadening the coalition to the United Chambers, certainly bringing in Valley on Track and VICA, in addition to what the Valley Alliance with Richard Katz has done, CSUN included in this larger coalition. We also have a letter. I'm going to read you three things: two statements, and a letter that I think are helpful in terms of our efforts going forward. We sent a letter to the Metro Board signed by myself, Congressman Brad Sherman. I know his staff is here. Congressman Tony Cardenas, his staff is here. Assemblymember Mike Gatto, the chair of the Energy Committee. Matt DeBobney, the chairman of the Banking Committee in the legislature. David Rue, a council member representing Sherman Oaks. And Mitch Englander, who's sitting right next to me, that basically says in substance that, yes, we've looked at a lot of other priorities, but one prime example is the need to increase connectivity to the Cal State University Northridge campus, where nearly 50,000 staff, students, and faculties, the second largest, sometimes the first largest campus, have the need. So this is a much broader coalition of federal and state and city folks that have added to that message. The second thing that we've gotten as part of this effort, and I wanted to share this with you, she couldn't be here tonight, is a statement from Jill Banks-Broad. Jill Banks-Broad is the founder and chair of the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils, and she's currently the president of the Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council. She writes, huh? Yeah, they have a meeting tonight, so otherwise she'd be here. As founder and chair of the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils, which represents the Valley's 34 neighborhood councils, and as president of Sherman Oaks Neighborhood Council, we must stand up for the Valley. It is the Valley's turn to receive our share of resources for much-needed transportation improvements. As neighborhood leaders who advocate for the Valley, we support its Our Turn coalition and appreciate the inclusive process that included Senator Hertzberg, the Valley Economic Alliance, Cal State University Northridge, the United Chambers of Commerce, Valley Industry and Commerce Association, and the VICA and the Valley's 34 neighborhood councils. We know we must speak up. We can't wait any longer. The time is now. I'm sorry to miss the summit tonight, but I have a scheduling conflict. Thank you very much. Again, all 34, and a number of those of you are here tonight. There's a couple of other meetings. In addition, part of this larger discussion, we reached out to the former mayor, Antonio Ramon Pedro Villaraigosa, to clarify any prior intentions. We named the initial coalition. Now it's much broader. It's Our Turn. He really wanted to be here. He had something that dealt with medical issues for a relative of his and another event. But he gave me this statement to read on his letterhead with respect to his point of view in this regard that we thought was important as we continue to build the coalition for the Valley. He writes, this is to the Valley Transportation Summit. That's all of you. One of the things I'm most proud of during my time as mayor is my transportation legacy. In 2008, Los Angeles voters passed, as Mayor Garcetti talked about, passed Measure R, a half-a-cent sales tax to revitalize and expand LA's aging transportation infrastructure. Many needed projects, such as the Crenshaw Line and Exposition Line, were funded through Measure R. The Valley has helped pass these measures, knowing it was in the best interest of the entire region to address underserved areas with the greatest need, and with the expectation and assurances that the Valley's needs would be addressed in the next bond measure. At the time when I was chair of the Metro Board, I helped drive the board to reach the consensus that the Valley would be next in line. It's important to uphold and honor the institutional commitments to ensure the voters have trust in the process. Thank you, Mayor Villaraigosa. We should be here.